Bonjour à tous et bienvenue dans cette nouvelle vidéo. Nous sommes très heureux de vous accueillir pour notre première interview d'un acteur, en l'occurrence d'une actrice, des secrets de Dumbledore, puisque aujourd'hui nous avons le plaisir de recevoir Victoria Yeates, qui est l'interprète de Bunty Beauchamps que l'on a pu découvrir à l'occasion des Crimes de Grindelwald et également de ce troisième opus de la saga des Animaux Fantastiques. Pour nous, c'est un véritable plaisir de la recevoir sur cette chaîne. Elle nous fait l'honneur de cette exclusivité française. C'est sa première interview sur le YouTube français actuellement et on va découvrir effectivement avec elle un personnage qui est absolument capital dans les secrets de Dumbledore en la personne de Bunty Beauchamps, mais on va aussi découvrir une femme de cinéma, une femme de théâtre absolument passionnante, très drôle, très finalement dans son personnage aussi de Bunty, on a vraiment le sentiment que ce personnage fait partie intégrante de sa personnalité. C'est vraiment une femme mais extraordinaire que nous avons pu rencontrer, avec qui on a beaucoup discuté un peu avant l'interview et aussi un petit peu après, on vous l'avoue en off, hein, c'est comme ça qu'on dit, mais vous allez voir qu'au cours de cette interview, elle va vous dévoiler un certain nombre de choses sur la manière dont elle s'est finalement préparée à endosser ce rôle de Bunty Beauchamps et la manière finalement dont elle a construit son personnage, dont elle le perçoit et dont elle perçoit aussi peut-être l'avenir des prochains films de la saga des Animaux Fantastiques et même plus largement l'avenir de la franchise du Wizarding World. Nous allons bientôt fêter les 2 ans de cette chaîne YouTube que nous avons construite avec vous à la sortie du tout premier confinement. C'était en juin 2020 que nous avons lancé nos premières vidéos, donc pour nous c'est vraiment un honneur de la recevoir sur cette chaîne, mais c'est aussi une manière de vous remercier tous et toutes pour votre soutien permanent, pour les très nombreux abonnés que vous êtes, pour le demi-million de vues que nous avons largement passé, les 8 années d'écoute, c'est quelque chose qui est absolument formidable. Enfin pour nous, on n'arrive vraiment pas à y croire et on voulait vraiment vous remercier. Et donc cette interview, finalement de Bunty Beauchamps, c'est aussi une manière quelque part de vous rendre hommage à tous, à vous qui construisez cette chaîne au quotidien, qui commentez nos vidéos, qui les likez, qui les partagez. C'est toujours un plaisir pour nous de découvrir effectivement des personnalités de nos abonnés, aussi sur nos différents réseaux sociaux, que ce soit Instagram, que ce soit Twitter ou Discord. Vraiment pour nous c'est toujours un très grand plaisir de vous découvrir, de pouvoir échanger avec vous. Et donc cette interview finalement de Bunty, c'est aussi effectivement un peu la vôtre, elle vous appartient et on est vraiment heureux de pouvoir vous la dévoiler ce soir. Alors évidemment l'interview est en anglais, mais ne vous inquiétez pas, nous avons fait des sous-titrages qui ne sont pas toujours parfaits parce que voilà, nous ne sommes pas non plus totalement bilingues. Certains nous pardonnons également notre accent anglais, sachant que Chloé était enrhumée et que moi je suis un petit peu rouillé après 3 années à être resté cloîtré en France avec les différents confinements et les mesures sanitaires, mais on a essayé de faire de notre mieux. En tout cas ne vous inquiétez pas, l'interview elle est sous-titrée et on se retrouve donc juste après pour pouvoir la débriefer un petit peu ensemble.
Today we have the pleasure to welcome Victoria Yeates, who performs Bunty BROADACRE's role to perfection in The Crimes of Grindelwald and in The Secrets of Dumbledore. We are particularly glad to greet her on our channel for her first French interview on YouTube. Victoria Yeates is not only the Bunty we love in Fantastic Beasts, but also a theatre actress, which roles have always been cheered by reviews, especially for her roles in Noel Coward's Private Life or The Credible by Arthur Miller. We'll then make you discover this high-color character. So, our first question is, the general public learns to know you since the release of The Crimes of Grindelwald and even more with this third opus. Could you tell us what are your future projects, your passions and your ambitions?
So future projects, I've got a one-woman play, which is exciting. I've got a one-woman play coming up, which is exciting, which is about domestic violence.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I've got a lead in a really amazing film, which is like a psychological thriller horror.
Oh.
Independent, which is being shot in Wales, and that is a brilliant script. It's about a relationship between a husband and wife, and then it goes into the thriller horror. You uncover a lot of information about them, and then it goes a bit supernatural.
Oh.
Which is exciting. And my passions, I suppose, well, acting is a big passion. Music, theatre, breeding. My daughter is a big passion of mine.
Of course.
Traveling. We do a lot of traveling and we love traveling. and going to different places and learning about different cultures. I love reading. I love reading a lot of non-fiction. I love reading about psychology and statistics. I do like statistics a lot.
Yeah.
And my ambitions. I suppose I want to become the best actress I can be. I want to continue doing really brilliant work. I'd like to have, I've done a lot of varied, strong dramatic roles in the theatre, which I'd like to do in film and TV. So the parts and things I'm doing now are moving very much away from the Bunty, Sister Winifred type roles, and more into more sort of complicated, strong, dramatic women.
That's great. Your character benefits a strong evolution in this third opus. We acquaint ourselves with a very engaged and committed Bunty, who has a leading place in this story. How did you prepare yourself to assume this main role as a real member of Dumbledore's first army?
I think that my process is just keep reading the script. And then the more you read the script, the more, I suppose it's more like an intuition. Words pop out. It just kind of starts to develop in you. And you have to, I suppose, think about what Bunty means as an archetype within the film, what she represents, and then her journey and where she's got to end up. And for me, a lot of the fans I've met, I'm really happy that they related to Bunty and understood. But it's really about the unassuming secondary character who can become a hero. And sometimes it's the people who are shyest and quietest who can be the strongest. And I think at the end, when she, in a way, lets Newt go and looks at the picture of Tina and says, you know, when you know, you just know, it just shows such a strength of character. It shows real love, the complexities of real love, unrequited love, how you know, if you are a strong, truly strong person, then you want the other person to be happy. So she's saying, go to Tina. So I suppose it's all those things, like, where do you begin and where do you want your character to end up? And then you just have to think about it. And then it just sort of comes out when you do it. Talk to David, talk to Eddie. We have lots of conversations on set. David's a really brilliant director's actor, sorry. And Eddie's an actor's actor. He really is very generous and open and engaged when you work with him. So that just all helps to open up where you're supposed to go.
Through the secrets of Dumbledore, you are the pivotal element of the whole plot and Albus' strategy. Without you, Grindelwald would have been elected at the International Confederation of Wizards. Did J.K. Rowling give you any advice explaining your role upstream the shooting?
No, I didn't speak to Jo this time. I think that it was when I auditioned for the part and I signed for the rest of the movies, Bunty's part was always going to grow. So I always knew that in the next film I'd have a sort of more pivotal role. And the idea from the first film was just to introduce her, and I was under contract to do Call the Midwife. So she was always going to blossom and unfold. And again, it's that unlikely character who comes to the forefront, which is very Potteresque, isn't it, really? Jo shows that with lots of different characters, like someone like Ron Weasley, who steps up and becomes a hero. And I really like that. It's boring, just being the typical person. So yeah, I didn't get any advice from her, but from when I spoke to her from when I did the first film, we spoke a lot, about her character and what she meant. And so that just feeds into this film. And it was just very clear and apparent in the script what she meant in the movie, and that it was really nice that so many people have, you know, I went to do a signing at the weekend in Spain, and all these people traveled so far to come and say how much Bunty meant to them and how they saw themselves in her, the shy girl that doesn't get the spotlight, and then suddenly she does, and those people can save the world. Sometimes, you know, it's the boring people in an office doing the really hard work that create incredible things that aren't flashy. And I think it's really important with all the social media that we're bombarded with to remember that.
That's true.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The plot of The Secrets of Dumbledore reveals how much this wonderful new story by J.K. Rowling is linked to World War II, the emergence of Grindelwald in Hitler's in Germany. When we saw your character on screen, our first reaction was to think that J.K. Rowling saw in Bunty all of those women who fought during the war and, to speak honestly, held a major part of it. Did you ever felt this dimension in your character, and have you been inspired by historical figures?
I haven't been inspired by historical figures, but I have in my life. I mean, I did a lot of history. I was going to do history at university, and so I've read a lot of history books, and, you know, there were so many ordinary women, and they would be the women that would be chosen often because you can be a spy, can't you? No one's going to suspect Bunty. That's what you want. And so many of those women exactly were spies and helped bring down Hitler. I think that also the costume, just everything about the way Bunty looks and her demeanor. She'd be someone who'd probably be studious and be able to learn a different language and work in an office, be unassuming and find the code. And I think it's a brilliant part. And there's a lot of parts like that in the 30s and 40s movies, especially in sort of quite a lot of film noir films, I think, that I love, that I would have got, you know, that were in my mind already. And I went for a very understated performance. I didn't do anything flashy or showy, because that would be defeating the point of what I suppose Jo's trying to say through her character. And that you have to be quite brave to do that, because you think, oh, you know, I should be a bit show a bit more, but then that defeats the object. And I had a lot of my drama teachers actually from RADA write to me and say how much they liked it, and that people, you know, people got it. So yeah, it's nice, isn't it? She's a proper archetype. She's a true heroine.
Bunty's character, who was far withdrawn in the crimes of Grindelwald, now becomes a major part of Dumbledore's plan. We also felt a direct link between your character and Jude Law's, which led us to the following question: does Bunty loyalties belongs more to Dumbledore or Newt Scamander?
I don't think, I mean, she's incredibly loyal to Newt, but Dumbledore, you know, is the head of all things, and also she would have been taught by him, so he does have that kind of authority. I think that she's the kind of person that will do what's right, not what's easy. It's one of the quotes from the film. So if she felt like what Dumbledore was asking of her wasn't right, she wouldn't do it. And the same with Newt. I think she's got true integrity. And you know, she works how many hours a day looking after really difficult animals. I think that when people are quiet, you know, people get completely the wrong idea about their strength. And yeah, I think that she would just do what's right. And, you know, she completely put herself on the line. She could have got killed to do what's right. So yeah, that's her. She's she's like, I mean, in a lot of ways, she's like the Chillin. She represents real love, and real love's really strong.
Yeah.
Great.
Unconditional love.
Hmm?
Unconditional love.
Unconditional, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Nonetheless, we felt the relationship between Newt and Bunty has never been that unstable from a sentimental point of view. By the way, in the end of the film leaves a range of possibilities between Bunty and Tina. According to you, who would best fit to Newt?
Oh, I mean, it's written in the Fantastic Beasts book that Newt and Tina get married. So I think that's supposed to be, that's going to be what happens if we make another movie. That will be what happens. So yeah, I just think that it was showing, I don't know, I hope that she finds someone else, really. I really do hope that she finds someone else. And I hope at the end of this film, that's what she did. She let him go. She needs her own story now.
Yeah.
And that to develop. Because that's the thing, there's a lot left within her to unfold. And it's interesting, to see, hopefully if we do another one, to see her become more dynamic and show hidden parts of herself and what she's capable of. And maybe find another love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She needs to live for herself.
Yeah, exactly. She needs to live for herself and find her thing, because there's going to be something that she can do that no one else can do. Like in these movies, that's always what's your gift to bring to the table? And I'd like to see what that is.
There is in The Secrets of Dumbledore a very feminine dimension in a supposedly masculine one. However, Bunty, Lally, Vinda, or Queenie actually are all very skilled and combative witches, convinced of the accuracy of their cause. We can't help noticing J.K. Rowling's appeal to elaborate strong-willed and very brave women in her stories. Do you not consider it would be appropriate to finally have a witch at the head of the next Wizarding World franchise?
Yeah, I would. There was a lot of men leading this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of men doing most of the talking. So yeah, I do. I think that the women should come out more in the next film. And take the stories on. Yeah, I do. If you think, we had Jude and Mads and Eddie, who were the real leads, really. So it'd be nice, wouldn't it, for the women to come to the fore in the next one, if we do another one.
Some fans tried to make you a Weasley, even if this would have been difficult pursuant the genealogy of this family. Did David Yates or J.K. Rowling ever evoked this possibility? No?
No. So how could it be? I mean, I've got no idea. But there was this whole thing on Twitter about me being a Weasley, and then people. So is it not possible then? I've got no idea.
Okay.
That's impossible.
It's
Fine.
impossible for me to be a Weasley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Okay.
complicated. really,
It's
really
very complicated.
Yeah.
So I can't have married someone and become a Weasley.
Yeah, that's what we saw. We
Yeah.
thought.
Right.
Yes, it's possible. Maybe Septimus Weasley or one of our brother.
Yeah. So I could have just married into the family. Look, I've got no idea. Nobody's told me anything. I just know I'm called Bunty Broadacre. I don't know anything else. No one ever knows anything on these movies. Everyone thinks we're told things, but we know nothing. No one tells us anything. Not even Jude or Eddie, really. No one knows anything about the storylines, about what they're going to do. Nothing.
Yeah.
There is always a big secret about the future for the movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, what could we wish you after this so beautiful and touching performance in The Secrets of Dumbledore?
What could you wish me?
Yeah.
As in to do with Harry Potter, like, and to do
No,
with the next?
really.
Not only in your life, for future projects or something else.
I don't know. What could you wish me? I suppose wish me another incredible role that's completely different. Completely different. That would be what I want to do next. Just something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Okay.
your wands out. Woo!
So thank you so much. I will stop the recording.
Comme vous pouvez le voir, on a assisté à une interview qui était assez riche en émotions avec une actrice véritablement extraordinaire, vraiment qu'on tient à remercier énormément pour déjà avoir accepté ce principe d'une interview qui était en plus une interview assez longue. On a fait quelques petites coupes mais qui n'étaient pas majeures, mais c'était vraiment une interview assez longue et elle a eu pris vraiment le temps de répondre à toutes nos questions, que ce soit on ou que ce soit off, donc on pourra vous distiller peut-être quelques éléments d'information supplémentaires dans d'autres prochaines vidéos d'ici quelques semaines voire quelques mois, mais en tout cas voilà, c'est vrai que c'était une personne qu'on a pris mais beaucoup de plaisir à rencontrer, avec qui on a pris beaucoup de plaisir à échanger. Ses équipes aussi sont absolument adorables et on tient également à les remercier, mais surtout avant tout, vous l'aurez deviné, ce qu'on veut remercier c'est vous qui faites cette chaîne un peu au quotidien, et vraiment encore une fois on espère que cette interview vous aura plu. N'hésitez pas à nous dire dans les commentaires ce que vous avez pensé de Victoria Yeates. Nous en tout cas on prendra beaucoup de plaisir à la revoir prochainement quand elle fera des passages en France, parce que c'est vraiment une très belle personne et une personnalité vraiment très riche qu'on a pris encore une fois beaucoup de plaisir à découvrir. Donc on se retrouve mercredi pour reprendre le rythme de nos vidéos normales, et d'ici là évidemment on vous attend dans les commentaires et sur nos différents réseaux sociaux pour réussir à décrypter un petit peu tout ce qu'elle a pu nous apporter comme information et comme décryptage. À très bientôt.